The YJ-12 is Beijing's most dangerous anti-ship missile because of its range and speed. It can be launched from land, air, and sea, and has advantages over ship-borne air defense systems on American aircraft carriers. The YJ-12 is a potent anti-ship weapon that helps China to more effectively enforce a perimeter around the disputed South China Sea zone, raising the operational risks of American forces present in the area. The deployment of this missile comes at a time of Western strategic anxiety about dwindling American capabilities in the face of rapid Chinese and Russian investment into hypersonic missile development, as outlined by a recent National Defense Strategy Commission report. It was discovered after the unveiling of the original YJ-12 that it would be accompanied by surface and land-based variants, the YJ-12A and YJ-12B respectively. Given the performance and design overlap between the two, it seems likely that the YJ-12B is an enhanced version of the 12A that could feature a greater maximum effective range than the 400 kilometers of the original. It remains to be seen if added countermeasures against missile defense systems will make into the YJ-12B's upgrade suite. Possessing a maximum speed of Mach 4, or 4,900 kilometers, the YJ-12 is designed to effectively target and destroy aircraft carriers. It should be able to outrange Aegis combat systems and SM-2 defense missiles, rendering it a potent potential threat to U.S. carrier strike groups in the South China Sea. A series of naval exercises held by the Chinese People's Liberation Army Navy recently featured two of these destroyers, Hangzhou and Ningbo, delivered to China around 20 years ago. Taiyuan Type 052D destroyer and Zhaoshan Type 054A destroyer also took part in the drills. China recently displayed the upgraded Russian-made Sovremeny-class destroyer, Hangzhou, installed with YJ-12 supersonic anti-ship missile launchers. Hangzhou underwent modernization in 2015 that was wrapped up in late 2019. It involved equipping the warship with 8 YJ-12 anti-ship missiles to replace the original 8 Russian-made Sunburn missiles, fitting a 32-unit vertical launch missile system for the HQ-16 air defense missiles that replaced the original 2 sets of Shtil air defense missile systems, besides upgrading the ship's electronic systems. Yan Zhuo, a Chinese naval expert, said that the YJ-12 is almost impossible to intercept because its fast speed only leaves the enemy with a mere 10 or so seconds to attempt an intercept, Pasha News, a media outlet under K618.cn, a news portal run by the Chinese Communist Youth League Central Committee, reported. A military expert explained to the Global Times that refitting the Sovremeny class with China's domestically developed advanced weapons and equipment significantly enhances the ship's combat capability, as China's related technologies nowadays have far surpassed that of Russia's when the ships were delivered. It also enables the warship to better integrate into China's new combat system. The People's Liberation Army missile development was inspired by the former Soviet Union's asymmetric doctrine, focused on its original advantages and specialties as a means of countering the US's aircraft carrier strategy. The YJ-12 is the most lethal anti-ship missile China has manufactured thus far, according to the Pentagon. It creates a variety of security problems for U.S. naval forces in the Pacific. The YJ-12's danger stems from its 400-kilometer range, giving it the world's longest-range ACBM, as well as its ability to travel at high speeds. This makes protecting U.S. ship strike groups with Aegis combat systems and SM-2 surface-to-air missiles challenging. In November last year, reports had indicated that the Taiwanese Air Force was contemplating the more advanced E-2D Hawkeye aircraft, but the high costs have proved to be an obstacle. The antenna array aboard the American Navy's early warning aircraft had a detection range of roughly 320 kilometers (200 miles), but the YJ-12 missile had an operational range of over 400 kilometers, according to the Taiwanese article. Even though the article did not mention the aircraft that it was referring to, the U.S. Navy primarily uses the E-2C Hawkeye early warning aircraft and has now also started using a more advanced variant, the E-2D Hawkeye. The article further claimed that intercepting the YJ-12 warhead, which travels at Mach 4 and can reach a target in 30 seconds once launched, was nearly impossible. According to former PLA Missile Force instructor Song Zhongping, the PLA anticipates the US and Japan to become involved in air and sea combat in the event of a Taiwan scenario, and the YJ-12 designed to target large and medium-sized ships might be employed primarily against them. Deployment details on the YJ-12B were scarce until mid-2018, when CNBC News cited US intelligence sources to report that China had stationed YJ-12B-equipped launchers on several reefs in disputed areas off its southern coast. The move garnered severe disapproval from the White House. Aside from its significant military impact in conflict zones, the YJ-12 aptly illustrates China's aggressive export strategy for many of its flagship missiles. The YJ-12 has two export versions produced in 2016, the CM-302 and CM-400 AKG. The CM-302 appears to be a multi-purpose air-sea-land weapon. While India is out of the question as a prospective buyer due to its ongoing BrahMos missile project with Russia, China has actively marketed the CM-302 to Pakistan over the past several years. It should be noted that the YJ-12's export versions have been tuned down to a range of up to 250 kilometers in compliance with the Missile Technology Control Regime. China has had previous success in the missile export market, selling its medium-range DF-21 missiles to Saudi Arabia in 2007 and short-range SY-400 ballistic missiles to Qatar in 2017.